The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and future. As the world turns and guiding light will not be seen at their regularly scheduled times, so we may bring you this presentation of Boston Red Sox baseball. They will be seen tonight after the local news at 11:30 p.m. And the following presentation is made possible by you, my Patreon supporters, specifically Baseball Demos, who, for some ungodly reason, requested this game. If you want to see any game on Action PC Sport from any season against each other, just go to patreon.com/Retro Sports Network and simply request a game. $10 gets you any game you want to see. And trust me, if I'm doing the one I'm about to do, I'll do any blessed game that you want. Alrighty. Welcome to Red Sox Baseball 1987. Where the hell did my mouse go? My name is Ron Juckett. This is a game that we're doing by request. Hopefully people can actually see it. Should double check. Streaming live. Okay. Stanley, yes, we're getting to that in a moment. The 1987 Boston Red Sox were the answer to trivia questions that we don't really want to get into. Following their unlikely World Series run in 1986, the Boston Red Sox were one of those rare teams that not only collapsed when the heat was on, but melted for an entire season after. Roger Clemens became the apparent superstar after the 86 season, but he held out. He actually pitched, I believe, if not in this series, the next one, but he was not ready for opening day 1987. And so did the Red Sox, and John McNamara, who was right up there along with Billy Martin on my favorites on the manager's list. Did he start the presumptive World Series most valuable player, Bruce Hurst? No. Did he run out Ucan Boyd? No. Did he get Clemens on short rest to pitch on opening day? No. He went with Bob Stanley. So let's remember, this was the team that blew Game 6 of the World Series and then choked away Game 7 of the 86 World Series. And how do you thank your 15-year-old fans in New England? You roll out Bob Stanley, who has not started a game really since 1980. He would start 20 games in 1987. The Red Sox would not contend in what would be a very competitive division. But this is kind of a mix between an old and a young team. Mike Greenwell and Ellis Burks would become starters by the time that the year ended and have good careers in Boston. Burks had a magnificent career. But for the Red Sox, it's an older team. It's a team that just wasn't going to go anywhere. And it starts with Bob Stanley on the hill. Milwaukee started 1987 13-0. No thanks to Bob Stanley. But it would be Detroit and Toronto by the end of the year that would fight for the division. They would play the last 2 weekends of the season, what ended up being a best-of-7 affair that the Blue Jays led, I believe, 3-0 before Tony Fernandez broke his leg. And the Tigers won the last 4, including an absolute thriller the last Sunday of the season on a Darrell Evans 3-run homer, which Detroit made stick. But anyway, so we go back to April 6, 1987 for the Red Sox and the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers, a team that we kind of figured would do better because they did start that well. They also had a no-hitter in this stretch. It wasn't against the Red Sox. And Boston, they started Bob Stanley on opening day. All right, so ID, glad to have you along, and Dale Lonsdale. Let's get this started, shall we? Okay. I want you up here. All right. So it will be Teddy Higuera on the hill for Milwaukee. Higuera went 18-10 for the Brewers in a 3.85 ERA in 261 and 2/3 innings. He allowed 236 hits, 24 homers, 87 walks, and struck out 240. Probably, he certainly was in the top 5 for a Cy Young. I think this was his best year. Here's a lineup he will face. Wade Boggs will lead off and play third for the Red Sox. Wade would have a magnificent year. Marty Barrett, an underrated second baseman as time goes by, will bat second. Bill Buckner, God bless him, the first baseman, will bat third. Jim Rice is in left. Rice really needed the glasses in 87. He will clean up. Don Baylor is a DH. He'll bat fifth. I think by the time the season was over, Baylor was in Minnesota. Dwight Evans is in right field. He'll bat sixth. Dave Henderson, another God bless his soul, is a center fielder. Hendu will bat seventh. Mark Sullivan is the catcher. Rich Gedman held out and did not sign until May 1st. So Sullivan will bat eighth. And Spike Owen, the shortstop, will bat ninth. Defensively for the Brewers, Rob Deere, a 7-5 in left. Robin Yount, an 8 in center with a 3-arm. Glenn Braggs, a 9-6 in right. Paul Molitor is a 6 at third. Manager Dale Swaim is at short. He's a 5. Jim Gantner is a 5 at second. Greg Brock is a 4 at first. And Schrader, the catcher, I don't remember his first name off the top of my head, is a 4 and a 4 behind the plate. Yeah, like the Red Sox are going to steal a base. Anywho, so Higuera is ready. Boggs, 363, 24 homers. This was the year he hit for a lot of power. And 89 RBI. He walked 105 times on the year. I'm going to manage the Red Sox. We're going to play this game straight up despite my introduction. We hope that Bob Stanley can win. Higuera's ready, and the 87 season starts with a ground ball to Brock. Over to first himself, 1 out. Bobby Catalano, how are ya? It's Bill Schrader, okay, or Schroeder, yep. So good to have you along, Bobby. This is the game that Baseball Demos wanted from Patreon. He paid me the $10 for, and because I'm just a gigolo, we're doing it. Marty Barrett, 293, 3 homers and 43 RBI. Just, kind of a Dustin Pedroia type second baseman. Never got the credit for how smart he was, too, in the field. Pitch to Marty is a ground ball to Molitor over to Brock, and there's 2 out. Higuera is a tough customer, although lefties hit him in a 276 clip. Bill Buckner, 273, 2 homers, and 42 RBI in part-time duty. The ankles had just given out at this point. But still, in half a season, he drove in 42 runs. Higuera pitches, and Buckner hits this one into right. Braggs is there, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Half an inning in the books. Boston, nothing. Here come the Brewers. I am doing just fine, Bobby. Randy, yep, it's Bill. You're right. So it'll be batting for Milwaukee. Paul Molitor, the third baseman, will lead off. Robin Yount will bat second. Glenn Braggs will bat third. Greg Brock cleans up. Billy Joe Robideau is the DH. He'll bat fifth. Rob Deere should be swinging and missing at a lot of stuff. He'll bat sixth. Bill Schroeder, the catcher, goes seventh. Jim Gantner, the second baseman, eighth. And Dale Swaim, the shortstop, ninth. Higuera, by the way, threw 10 pitches in the first. So it'll be Jim Rice is a 4-9. I didn't realize his arm was that good. In left, Rice at the end of his career. Dave Henderson, a 5 in center. We don't talk about his arm. Dwight Evans is a 3 in right. Oof, and an 8 arm. Wade Boggs is a 7 at third. A much better third baseman than people ever gave him credit for defensively. Spike Owen is a 6 at short. Marty Barrett a 6 at second. Buckner a 4 at first. And Sullivan, the son of the the owner, Haywood Sullivan. Dysfunction, thy name is Boston. He's a 7 and 5. Molly hit .353 in 87, 16 homers and 75 RBI. Stanley, God bless him, 4-15 on the year. Bless his heart, a 5.01 ERA, 152 and 2/3 innings, 198 hits, 17 home runs, 42 walks, and 67 strikeouts. Why do you hate me, Dave? Why do you hate me? All right, so here we go. So Stanley was returned to the rotation. They really didn't have a lot of options. Wilkie and Boyd was not in great shape. Jeff Sellers was their other option at the back end of that rotation. And Clement, it really was Clemens and Hurst in fear for the worst. Pitch from Stanley and Molitor, ground ball up the middle. Owen with a nice stop by the bag at second over to Buckner. And that's how this one starts, 1 out. Robin Yount hit .312. 21 homers and 103 RBI. Shredder had a cat, but we aren't sure if it's dead or not. So, yeah, love that. Yeah, love that whip. It's like Devo out there. Pitch to Yount. Ground ball to Boggs. Over to Buckner for the 2nd out. It's amazing how old the Red Sox got over the course of that one off season. Glenn Braggs at .269, 13 homers and 77 RBI. Stanley, palm ball, up the middle. That's going to be a base hit in front of Henderson. And so the Brewers have a 2-out single for Greg Brock. At .299, he had come over from the Dodgers at that point. 13 homers and 85 RBI. So Stanley, I forgot that he was actually 7th in the Cy Young Award in 78 and 80. Pitched most of 78 out of the pen, but in 80 he was a legitimate starter. Pitch to Brock. There's a base hit left side. Rice will grab it. Braggs goes to third, and Milwaukee doing what it does. Here is Billy Joe Robideau, who was not ready for prime time in 1987. 194, no homers and 4 RBI. So Stanley, of course, will give up a homer here. 2 out, runners on the corners for Milwaukee. Here's the pitch. Got him! How about that? A 1-2 breaking ball. Swung on and missed, and the Steamer gets a strikeout. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. We played 1. Boston, nothing. Milwaukee, nothing. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Only been 32 years, and there's already 2 dead players. Jim Rice, .277, 13 homers, and 62 RBI. And, this was the point of his career that he needed to play with glasses and didn't get them. Pitched it from Higuera, struck him out. So Teddy got him to swing on a 1-2 fastball. 1 out. First strikeout for Higuera. Don Baylor. With the Red Sox, he had .239, 16 homers, and 57 RBI. Dave, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Baylor with the Twins in the World Series? Higuera's pitch struck him out. Baylor takes one just below the belt. 2 away for Dwight Evans, who, like fine wine, hit better as he hit lefties at a .368 clip. On the season, he had .305, 34 homers, and 123 RBI. Oh yeah, Baylor's passed away too. I'd forgotten about that. Man, that is sad. Yeah, he was. So Baylor got in the World Series in back-to-back years. And in fact, I think he was with Oakland in 89. Pitch to Evans. There's a base hit past Swain, and the Red Sox have a 2-out single. So no-hitter for Higuera. Dave Henderson at .234, 8 homers and 25 RBI. One of the biggest folk heroes in Red Sox history. Higuera deals, and there's a chopper to Molitor at third. Over to Brock. A bang-bang play, and Henderson beat it out. Wowzers. So here is Mark Sullivan. You wonder why the Red Sox fell off the face of the earth in 1987? He hit 169, 2 homers, and 10 RBI. Oakland in 88, Minnesota in 87, and Boston in 86. 3 straight years. That's pretty good. 2 out, runners on first and second. Higuera deals, Sullivan, fly ball to center. Yount goes back and makes the catch to retire the side. I forgot to tell you, 57 degrees, a beautiful, crisp, clear day here in Milwaukee. The wind blowing left or right to left at 9. It'll be Robbie Deere, Bill Schroeder, and Jim Gantner. And no truth to the rumor that Lucy Van Pelt is playing the piano in right field. Deere at 238, 28 homers, 80 RBI, and 186 strikeouts. Yeah, I think he was Bryce Harper or something. Stanley deals, and there's a fly ball to right. Evans in the corner, 1 out. I think it's Schroeder. 332, had a good year. 332, 14 homers, and 42 RBI. 1 out, bottom of the second. Stanley on the mound, 25 pitches so far. Delivers. Fly ball left center. Back goes Henderson. That's going to hit the wall. And left center, Rice throws to third. Schrader's digging, and he's there. That was a double, and it skipped past Rice. And for some reason, the official score charges Rice with an error. Oh, because it bounced off the wall and then skipped past Rice. And so Schrader gets credit for a double and then takes third on the error by Jim Ed. Brings up Jim Gantner at 272, 4 homers and 30 RBI. You know, I got the joke. And in Schroeder's cat. Yep, you know, Schroeder's cat was on the bed earlier and saw what I was doing and didn't like it. Jim Gantner, did I tell you his numbers? 272, 4 homers, and 30 RBI. Stanley delivers, and there's a liner to Owen, and that will be the second out. So Schrader can't move up. And I'll bring up Dale Swaim, who hit 25 homers, 252, 25 dingers, and 95 RBI. Tom Thibodeau, I believe. Or Troublehorn. Tom Troublehorn. Swaim struck out 133 times in 87. Stanley's pitch. Ground ball to Buckner, and it gets through his legs. It rolled through his legs. The run will score, and Milwaukee's up 1-0. And so through 9 batters, Bob Stanley has thrown 33 pitches, an inning and 2/3, 3 hits, and a strikeout. Molitor is 0 for 1. Pitch is a ball. Swaim doesn't go anywhere. Couldn't get the jump. So a 1-0 count. Stanley deals. Fly ball to center. Henderson goes way back there, and it's gone. So Molitor homers, and so following the Buckner error, it's now 3-0 Milwaukee, as Molitor sent that one into the bleachers. The bleacher seats in dead center. Nope, you can't blame him for shoddy fielding. That sinker didn't sink, and it's now 3-0 Brewers. All unearned runs. 3 unearned runs for the Brewers here in the second. Yount is 0 for 1. Pitch from Stanley. Base hit up the middle. Yount's going for 2. The throw into Barrett is not in time, and so that's a double. And so kind of like for the rest of us in 87, when it rains, it pours. Glenn Braggs is singled. He's 1 for 1. Stanley's pitch struck him out. He looked at a 2-2 pitch for strike 3, but Milwaukee scores 3 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors. After 2, Milwaukee 3, Boston 0. This game presented by Baseball Demos, because nobody does masochism quite like he does. It'll be Spike Owen, Wade Boggs, and Marty Barrett here in the third for Boston. Spike hit .259 on the year, 2 homers and 48 RBI. Higuera has been given 3 runs. His ERA is 3.85. Let's see. Pitch to Owen. Ground ball to Swain. Comes in, throws to Brock. Owen's got some wheels, and Owen beat it out. So that brings up Boggs, who's 0 for 1. Higuera threw 9 batters, 30 pitches, 2 innings plus now, 3 hits and 2 strikeouts. Gonna do the hit and run. No, they can come back. Three's not the end of the world. But an error by Buckner. Hit and run is on. Boggs fly ball to right. Braggs will watch it go foul. Someone from Milton College got that one. That's my dad's alma mater, as a matter of fact. So they're happy. And they're light beer. Gonna do it again. Here's the pitch. There's a base hit left center. Owen will go to third. Boggs will hold on a single. Deere throws it back in. Don't hit and run it with a runner on third run. And so that brings up Marty Barrett, who's 0 for 1. So Higuera has runners in the corners. This has not been a gem from him by any stretch. Boston has 4 hits. They have 2 errors, but they have 4 hits. Pitch to Barrett, and that's a base hit into left center field. Yount picks it up. Boggs to third. Owen will score, and Marty's on first. And so it's 3-1 Milwaukee. The Red Sox chip back. Brings up Bill Buckner. His error was crucial in the second. Higuera's pitch. Buckner, ground ball to Swain. Makes a fantastic play. Boggs will score. Gantner for 1 over to Brock. Buckner doesn't have any speed at all, and that's a double play. So Swain made a diving stop and turned that into a 6-4-3. Boggs will score, and it's 3-2. So the Red Sox in the third inning will trade a run for an out. And here brings up Jim Rice, who struck out his first time up. Higuera deals, and Rice lines out one to Gantner, who makes a fantastic play. But the Red Sox make some noise. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. 2.5 in the books. Milwaukee 3, Boston 2. Dave, this is my childhood wrapped up in a paper tissue right here. 86 was so lucky for Boston. They weren't favored. The Blue Jays were favored. And I think if you replayed the season, I think the Yankees and Blue Jays give the Red Sox fits. Greg Brock singled his first time up. Stanley had 46 pitches through 2. We will let him pitch a normal game, 5 runs, 10 hits, or 100, or when he's tired. So, pitch to Brock, right back to the steamer, over to first, 1 out. Billy Joe Robideau struck out his first time up, 0 for 1. Stanley delivers, struck him out again, an 0-2 pitch on the outside half of the plate. Brings up Rob Deere, who made contact his first time up. 186 strikeouts. That's obscene. Stanley's pitch got him. So a 1-2 pitch on the black at 73. And so Stanley helps you do things right. He struck out 2 in the third. We played 3. Milwaukee 3. Boston nothing. Yeah, he'll probably go. He's halfway through at 56. He has another couple 1, 2, 3 innings. I could see him going into 7th. He only went 4 2/3 on opening day. He gave up 9 hits. Don Baylor struck out his first time up. Evans and Henderson to follow. Higuera's pitch. Baylor, fly ball, left center field. Yount, 1 out. Dwight Evans singled his first time up. Had 165 hits in 87. And Dewey sends this one to center. Yount goes back, makes the catch, 2 out. This was the end of the 25 players, 25 cabs era for the Red Sox. They would start to get along a little bit better. But this was not a cohesive unit, and that started with ownership, which was terrible. I mean, Gene Yawkey owned the team, the widow of Tom Yawkey, but Haywood Sullivan and Buddy LaRue ran the team, and they ran it poorly. Dave Henderson singled his first time up. He's 1 for 1, and he strikes out. Higuera got him to look at a late called strike 3. Curveball is in there. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3.5 in the books. Milwaukee 3, Boston 2. So Schroeder and his cat, Gantner and Spain for Milwaukee here in the 4th. Schroeder doubled his first time up and scored. And he will double this time. That goes all the way to the wall on left center. And Bill is on second standing up as whatever that was out of Stanley's hand got hammered. 6 hits for Milwaukee. Brings up Gantner, who's 0 for 1. Schroeder reached third on an error by Rice in the second. Gantner right back to Stanley, throws it to first, and Gantner is retired. Schroeder stays put. And that brings up Dale Swain. That's a pronounced W, not V. And Dale has a run scored. He reached on the Buckner error. The pitch, fly ball to right. Evans goes away back there, and he'll turn and watch it go. So you can't blame that one on shoddy defense. It's now 5-2 Milwaukee, and the second home run by Stanley. And the 15-year-old in me is looking through his parents' liquor cabinets for the gin. Or the porn, one of the two. Paul Molitor smashed a homer his second time up, 1 for 2. So through 18 batters, Bob Stanley, 67 pitches, 3 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 2 homers. Only 2 of those 5 runs are earned, by the way, and 4 strikeouts. Yes, I made the Lucy joke already. You missed it. Pitch to Molly is a liner up the middle, base hit. So that's 8 hits through 3 1/3 innings. Brings up Robin Yount, 1 for 2 with a double. And yeah, Schroeder, of course, is an accomplished pianist. How he does those concertos on a toy keyboard is beyond me, but I wasn't paid to think. Pitch from Stanley. Yount, gone. Left center field. 7-2. Well, let's watch this one. No doubter. So that makes it 7-2, and so Stanley has matched his real-life hit total allowed of 9. That brings up Glenn Braggs. He singled and struck out. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to center. Henderson goes back onto the track to make the catch, and there's 2 out for Greg Brock, who was 1 for 2. Yeah, this one is Phyllis Diller-like already, ID. He plays for Peanuts. That's right. Pitch to Brock, and there's a ground ball to Barrett. Nice stop over to Buckner, and that will retire the side. Milwaukee scores 4. Homers by Molitor and I think Swain. 4 in the books, 7-2 Milwaukee. It'll be Mark Sullivan. He's Spike Owen and Wade Boggs here in the 5th. Sully 0 for 1. Higuera's delivers. Ground ball to Molitor by the bag at third. Over to Brock for the out, 1 away. Spike Owen singled and scored in the 3rd. 1 for 1. Pitch from Higuera. Fly ball, shallow center. Yount comes in, makes the catch, 2 away. It's a 5th out. No, Demos is right. Boston has crap in the pen. Kind of like what happened when Schrader's cat got loose after eating all that tuna. Just crap in the pen. Wade Boggs is 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the third. Higuera, matching his real-life ERA, 4 2/3 innings on 63 pitches. 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 runs, both earned. Pitch to Boggs is a ground ball base hit. And Yount will toss that one back in. 2 out for Marty Baird, who has an RBI single. He's 1 for 2. Higuera deals, and there's a ground ball to swing over to Gantner, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. We've played 4 1/2. Halfway home. And Milwaukee, they lead 7-2. Come on, you're going to get the in-game box score. Yeah, probably if he was in the National League, he'd be gone. No, I'm trying to get something up on my other screen, so bear with me 1 second while you look at how impressive Milwaukee has been. Oh, okay. I want to take a moment. You can look at the in-game box score pitching-wise. Stanley just terrible. 4 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 4 earned. He struck out 4, and he's going to have to pitch some more. Higuera, 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned. All right, I'm going to go on camera for a sec. Stanley, by the way, getting the fatigue warning. Thank goodness, because I'm not sure how much more of that I can take. I want to take a moment, since this is really the first Patreon game, to thank everyone who has done the Patreon thing. Legacta Live, Bradley Bolton, I think it was A.B. Appabot, Al Red Sox fan, David Armstrong, you know, the guy that's actually presenting this game. Let's see, John Marichich, David Little, who's also sponsoring that 70s tournament, Bobby Catalano, Fandomatic, and Dale Lonsdale. For each and every one of you, my sincere thanks. And if you want to become a Patreon member of mine, patreon.com/retrosportsnetwork. But thank you all so much for everything that you've done for the channel. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Even this little poopy head type game. All right. So, we go to the bottom of the 5th. Robideau is up. He struck out both times. He's 0 for 2. Stanley has struck out 4. Pitch to Billy Joe is a fly ball to right. Evans is in the corner, makes the catch, 1 out. So Rob Deere is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. I wonder why Milwaukee didn't do better. And this offense is pretty potent. 57 degrees, winds blowing right to left at 11. And Rob pops this one up right side. Barrett will snag it, 2 away. For Schroeder, who has 2 doubles, 2 for 2, he has scored twice and written his own symphony, all in the course of an afternoon. Pitch from Stanley, fly ball shallow left, Rice is there, and so Stanley will actually beat his real-life length here. After 5, Milwaukee 7, Boston 2. So Buckner, Rice, and Baylor. Buckner 0 for 2. He is grounded into a double play. Higuera cruising right along. How you doing, Appa Chatter? Nice to have you along. Pitch to Buckner. Struck him out. Higuera got him with an 0-2 breaking ball for his 4th strikeout. Brings up Jim Ed. Jimmy's 0 for 2. Arnold Hunter, how are you? Nice to have you along. Rice, ground ball, base hit right side. So the Red Sox have their 7th hit. 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, and they've left 3 on. For Milwaukee, 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and they've left 3 on. Don Baylor is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. If he can hit... If Schrader plays against Toronto, can he hit the right key? I think so. You can see what my cousin Bonnie played in Words with Friends. Braves for life, how are you? Nice to have you along. Milwaukee's pitching wasn't that great. Okay. Welcome to the channel. Glad to have you aboard live. Baylor is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Red Sox should actually do something here. Pitch from Higuera. Ground ball to third. Molitor. Fantastic stop. Gantner for 1. Brock for 2. Molitor dove along the bag. Made a huge throw to start a 5-4-3 double play. It happens for the Red Sox all the time. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Halfway or 5.5 in the books. Milwaukee 7, Boston 2. Formerly John, change my YouTube name. Okay, Steve P, good to have you along live. Were you DJ John? Anywho, Jim Gantner is 0 for 2. Gantner, Swaim, and Molitor as Stanley starts the 6th. Gantner chops 1 to 0 by the bag at second over to Buckner for the out. Reminder, in about an hour or so, head over to ID Gestures channel for the May Baseball Review. Sports Time Machine, baseball demos, and myself will join ID as we review the month of May, right on his channel. Can't say right here, it's not on my channel. Swaim had a 2-run homer. He's 1 for 2. He has scored twice. Stanley's given up 3 homers and trails 7-2. Liner to right, Evans was there, 2 out. So Stanley's probably going to throw 7. Unless Molitor can do something about that. Paul is 2 for 3. He's singled and homered. Driven in 2. Scored twice. Stanley, 91 pitches through 5 2/3 innings. 3 home runs. Only 4 of those 7 runs were earned, and he struck out 4. Pitch to Molitor. Base hit left side. Owen should have had that. And the Brewers have a 2-out single. Brings up Robert Yount, 2 for 3. No single run. He's got a double and a homer. And 2 RBI. Throw to first. Molitor's back. Stanley deals. And Yount grounds that one in the hole on the left side. Molly's going for third. And there's now 2 on and 2 out for Glenn Braggs. And you kind of now got to wonder, how long do you leave Stanley in there for? Glenn is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Pitch from Stanley, and there's a base hit into left center. Molitor will score. Yount will try for third. Henderson's going to throw into Boggs, and Yount is in there. But John McNamara trots out to the mound. Calvin Schiraldi can throw 70 pitches? Really? Okay. And so it's Schiraldi. God. Coming in. We got a pitching change. This game is coming to you from County Stadium in Milwaukee. So Schiraldi was supposed to be the Red Sox big-time closer. And instead, he pretty much snorted his way out of town. 8-5 in 87 with 6 saves and a 4.41 ERA. In 83 2/3 innings, 75 hits, 15 homers, great googly moogly, 40 walks and 93 strikeouts. Greg Brock 1 for 3. So Stanley's been chased. 8-2 Milwaukee. The pitch, Brock pops this one to center. Henderson's there. And that will retire the side. Not before the Brewers chase Mr. Stanley on a run and 3 hits and no errors. After 6, hey, you never know who might come back. It's Milwaukee 8, Boston 2. Oh, your last name. Oh, DJ. Okay. Yeah, time for the pen for sure. So it'll be Evans, Henderson, and Sullivan. Dewey is 1 for 2 with a single. And there's a little liner into left center field, and Evans has himself a second hit. So the Red Sox do have 8 hits. But they've only scored twice, and they've stranded just 3. Here's Dave Henderson. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Fly ball left field, Deer. 1 out. Pretty close. The 87 Red Sox pen rivals the certainly the 2017 Milwaukee Nats pen. Sullivan is 0 for 2, and I gotta bat him. Hopefully he doesn't ground into a double play. Higuera deals. Ground ball to Brock, and Brock boots it. Does he get back to get Sullivan at least? Evans will go to second, and Sullivan is out. So Brock bobbled the ball and kept it in front of him, and so it's 3 unassisted on the out. 2 out for Spike Owen, who's got himself a single and a run scored. That came in the third, 1 for 2. Higuera deals, and Owen hits that one to third. Molitor, bang, bang, throw to Brock. Owen's got speed, gets away from Brock. And Evans is safe, so Owen will hold it first. The throw was high by Molitor, and the Red Sox make it 8-3. No relation between Dwight and Darryl. Just brothers from another mother. Wade Boggs is 2 for 3, a single twice and scored. Higuera, 6 2/3 innings, 95 pitches, 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. He has struck out 4. Pitch to Wade. Give yourself a bucket of chicken. That's going to drop in front of Robin Yount. And Owen will hold at second with 2 out. And just like the Colonel, the Red Sox got something cooking here. 2 out for Barrett, who's 1 for 3. Marty has an RBI and a single. Darrell Evans, according to Alpha Chatter, played Alpha. There's quite a few players who played their own stuff in games. Pitch to Barrett is a ground ball to Molitor. Throws over to Brock, and this time they got him. So the Red Sox 3-2. They get a run on 2 hits in an error. Stretch time here in Milwaukee. It's the Brewers 8, the Red Sox 3. So Schiraldi will face Robideau, Deer, and Schroeder here in the 7th. 8-3 Brewers. Schiraldi deals. Robideau, fly ball to right. In the corners, Evans for the out. Going away. So Rob Deer is 0 for 3 and has struck out once. You feel bad for Schiraldi. He came in after Stanley in Game 6. He came over from the Mets with Wes Gardner, and I forgot who they traded for him. Someone will tell me. And he just had all the pressure in the world of trying to be the closer at the end of the 86 season. The Red Sox desperately needed one. And he just wasn't up to the task. Deer strikes out. An 0-2 pitch swung on and missed on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. 2 out for Schrader, who's 2 for 3, has doubled twice and scored twice. Schiraldi deals. Fly ball to left. Rice has it, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 7 in the books. Milwaukee 8, Boston 3. Yet Doug Glanville plays Stratomatic, and of course Keith Hernandez mentions it a lot on the Mets games. Ojeda. And you know what? Ojeda was never all that in a bag of chips for the Red Sox, but going as a lefty from Fenway to Shea made all the difference in the world. And hopefully it's just, well, it'd be nice to see the Red Sox come back. But yeah, just 8.5 innings. Started a Mike Lombardi book, and he mentions playing Strat a lot when he was younger. That was my hookup game, my gateway game. Buckner is 0 for 3. He struck out, grounded into a double play. Higuera deals, and that one is, I don't know what the hell I just saw. I think that hit off the mound over to Gantner. That's exactly what it was. It bounced off of Higuera's glove. Gantner comes in on the grass, throws it over to Brock to get the out. Let's watch it again. One of those kind of excuse me things. It just kind of bounced, and Gantner was there at the right place at the right time to get Buckner. So here's Rice. He's 1 for 3. He is singled and struck out. 3 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for Boston. They've left 5 on. 8 runs, 12 hits, an error, and 5 left on for Milwaukee. Pitch to Rice, ball 4. There, take your base. Don't argue. 3-0, pitch 2. So brings up Don Baylor. Have I got anybody better than Baylor? It's 240 against lefties. My computer's going, come on, Ron. No, I don't. Not even close. Oh, Greenwell actually can hit lefties. But we'll let Baylor hit. 1 out, 1 on. Higuera's pitch. Baylor up the middle. Gantner's only play is to first. Brock stays on the bag, and Rice will move to second. 2 out for Dwight Evans, who's had himself a decent game. He's 2 for 3. Singled twice and scored. Braves are down 4-2. Kurt Schilling plays the OTP. Yeah, same with Tudor. Especially if you remember Fenway before the press box started to go up, and and they put crap on the roof. It just was a real bandbox for lefties, and now you can be a Bruce Hurst was the first good lefty pitcher I remember. Tudor went to Pittsburgh first, and then to St. Louis, and should have won a Cy Young. Dave Little says hello. I remember the time that Glanville was playing center field and Greg Jeffries was in left. Granfield reportedly shouted at Jeffries, "You're a 5!" Glanville would give the company grief because one year he was a 2 and he felt he should have been a 1. Johnny Smoke says 87, the year of the homer before the roids. And that's true. That's the year the Boggs at 24. Pitch to Evans is a fly ball to left. Back goes Deere to the track, and he makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 7.5 in the books. Milwaukee 8, Boston 3. Even Larry Sheets had 31 homers. So it'll be Gantner, who's 0 for 3, Swaim, and Molitor to face Schiraldi in what should be the Milwaukee's last inning in the 8th. B.J. Surhoff's going to pinch hit. I saw all of that. Surhoff played forever. 299, 7 homers, 68 RBI. Pitch from Schiraldi, ball 4. Dale Swaim hit a homer, one of the 3 that Milwaukee has struck today. Molitor and Yount have the others. 1 for 3. Drove in 2 and scored twice. Pitch from Schiraldi, and that one is hit long and deep to right field, and that's gone. Evans turned and watched it go, and that was an absolute cannon off the bat. Now the wind is shifted to center at 16. Blowing out. So Dale Swaim will have an opening day he'll never forget. 2 homers, and drives home Surhoff to make it a lot to not enough. It's 10-3 Milwaukee. So Molitor is 3 for 4. 2 singles, a homer, and 2 RBI. He has scored 3 times. Schiraldi deals, struck him out. 2-2 cutter at 98, strike 3 called. Brings up Robin Yount, who's 3 for 4. 1 out, bottom of the 8th. It'll be Henderson, a pinch hitter, and Owen for the Red Sox in the 9th. Yount actually needs a triple for the cycle, and he had 9 on the real season, so you never know. Schiraldi's pitch struck him out. An 0-2 fastball, strike 3 called. Brings up Glenn Braggs with 2 out. Glenn 2 for 4 with an RBI and a strikeout. He has singled twice. Ojeda had a great year in '86. Oh, he did. He really did. And then was average in '88. No, yeah, in '88, Ojeda had a serious accident. I believe he severed part of a couple fingers. And one of the reasons why the Dodgers beat the Mets in '88, he was also in that boating accident that killed those Indians pitcher, Olin and Cruz. I believe Ojeda was the lone survivor. Pitch to Braggs is a ground ball right to Schiraldi over to Buckner. And that will, no, it won't, because the throw got away. And Braggs ends up on second. So Buckner tried to leap and couldn't make the catch, and that's the third Red Sox error. No, I'm not bringing in Joe in a 7 ERA Sambito. If I was playing the next game, I might, but no. So Brock is 1 for 4. Grace got himself a single. Braggs on second. Brock strikes out. In there at the knees at 97. 2 runs, a hit, and another error. This couldn't have gone any worse for the Red Sox after 8. Celebrate ID. The Red Sox suck on this one. Milwaukee 10, Boston 3. Glenn Braggs had the largest arms on the planet. So it'll be Henderson and pinch hitter, probably Mike Greenwell, and Spike Owen for the Red Sox here in the 9th. 3 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for Boston. They've left 6 on. Milwaukee, 10 runs, 13 hits, an error, and they've left 6 on. Higuera going for the complete game. Fly ball to left. There's deer. 1 away. You can do lefty versus lefty when you hit 378 off them. Greenwell had a fantastic rookie year for the Red Sox. 328, 19 homers, and 89 RBI. Pretty much made Rice a full-time DH after that. Pitch from Higuera, and Greenwell sends this one into center. Young is there. 2 out. So Higuera right on his pitch total of 125 for Spike Owen, who's 1 for 3. Singled and driven in a run. Scored in the 3rd. Last chance for the Sox. So they need 7 to tie and 8 to make everyone pass out. Pitch to Spike. Liner to Castillo, who's been at second, and that's the ball game. So Milwaukee wins opening day 1987. They beat the Red Sox rather handily, 10-3. And so Stanley takes the loss, 5 2/3 innings, 12 hits, 8 runs, 5 earned, the 3 homers, and 4 strikeouts. Schiraldi, 2 1/3 forgettable innings, a hit, 2 runs, both earned, the homer. Walked 1 and struck out 4. Higuera goes the distance, 9 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, both earned, 2 earned. He walked 1 and struck out 4. So Molitor 3 for 5 with 3 runs scored and 2 RBI, but Dale Swaim's going to get our MVP. 2 for 4, a homer. He drove in 4 and scored 3 times himself. 3 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors for Boston. 10 runs, 13 hits, an error for the Brewers. ID Jester's channel is the place to be sometime in the next half hour. He has got the May Baseball Review. And so, guys, there you have it. If you just wanted a game, we'll do any season, any 2 teams on any of the Action PC platforms. You name it, we'll do it. It's just that easy. $10 gets you the game of your choice. And so, baseball demos, I hope you enjoyed that one. You know, despite the fact that it sucked, I enjoyed making it happen for you. So, football game tomorrow night. Haven't decided what I'm doing. And so that'll do it on this channel for tonight. Join us over at ID's in a few minutes for the baseball chat. For now, for Retro Sports Network, I'm Ron Juckett. We'll talk to you really, really, really soon.